Hi, and welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today I have my special guest, Jack Roddy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. I'm Kale Houser. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is my special honor and privilege to introduce to my audience Jack Roddy. He is the CEO of Road to Higher Wealth, which is a company that helps people create financial freedom primarily through real estate. Jack, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome.
It's my pleasure. I love talking about myself and how I help people out. I just want to thank you very much for inviting me onto your podcast, and let's see what we can do to help some people out there.
Yes, perfect. Yes, everybody's favorite subject, right? We get to talk about ourselves and all the awesome things we do, and I love it. So I love the title of your company, Road to Higher Wealth. So explain to me a little bit about your background, what it is that you do, and what Road to Higher Wealth actually means.
Okay, I've been in real estate for about 20 years. I've been a general contractor for probably 35 years. I've built Walmarts, Kmart's, Home Depots, the big box stores, all that kind of stuff. Which was a lot of fun in my younger days. It was something I strive to do the best I can. That's part of the leadership that I love to do and to help other people. And anyway, I was 28 years old and I was building Walmarts. So that's really unheard of. So everybody that worked for him was older than me, and they really didn't like to take direction or orders from a kid.
You don't say.
And so I learned the role of leadership and working with people at an early age. Trying to get them to do what you need them to do without barking orders, and make them feel that it was their idea or their initiative to get it done. And it worked very well. And then since then, I've done a couple big multi-million-dollar adventures, and they all worked out well. It's because I always put the other people first. I always go to put myself in their shoes and say, if I wanted for them to get this done, how would I feel on their end? And that's how I've done all my jobs, my businesses, and it seems to work. The only thing that doesn't work is the relationships. I don't know how I can't get that one done, but other than that, business-wise, I've hit pretty hard.
Right, that's awesome. Yeah, there's definitely some cross flow between business and personal relations, but certainly not the same type of approach.
Not even close.
Right.
So, but yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say. So your Road to Higher Wealth, so you started in the construction industry and I would imagine, developed your own company, grew. Why is it that you're not still doing that? Because it sounds like you're pretty successful doing it, right? If you're getting Walmart contracts and Home Depot contracts, that's pretty successful.
It was, and we were. And I just, it's not about the money to me. It's about doing something new all the time. I thrive on achieving that higher goal. Life's never been about money to me. I've made millions, I've lost millions. It happens. But it's my I guess my, not mission, but my inner core, my goals are I just love helping people and getting people to achieve their dreams. And that's why I went into the Road to Higher Wealth. But yes, as far as construction, it's like I said, talking about relationships earlier. I was married at the time. And as we all know, divorces aren't the prettiest things in the world. It was a female-owned business, minority-owned business, which means she got the business. And not being mean, but I didn't feel like keep making her rich while I worked for pennies for her.
Right.
I shut it down, and then I went into just basically into regular construction onto residential stuff for the longest time, and then from there we started flipping houses. And to date, I've flipped over 250 houses, got full gut rehabs. I've had tons of rentals. I do short-term rentals now. And so it's just progression. And that's just where in the direction we went. I always say, follow the money, but follow your dreams and your passions as well. Because you don't want to, do something, just because it makes you money, but it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. That's the way I feel. But on the other hand, I know a lot of people that are successful in their own hearts. They don't make a ton of money, but they love their passion of doing what they do. And so as long as you can pay all your bills and you can live comfortably, do what you love to do. And that's part of the road to higher wealth that I've created now is to help those type of people, find their passions and make sure it makes them money. And as long as it makes them money, we go down that road together and I show them how to get there. And there's a lot of different facets. And the easiest way to do that is through real estate. Real estate is the number one business in the world as far as millionaires are concerned. There's more millionaires in real estate than every other business in the world combined.
Right.
And it's amazing. But on the other hand, think about it. What's come with staples in life? You got to eat, you got to sleep, and you got to live somewhere.
Yeah.
And so real estate just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. I do remember when I was a little kid, we lived in California. My dad built a 3-bedroom ranch style house for $3,000 in California.
Yeah. Wow.
Back in the 60s, early 60s. But that same house today is worth about 1.5 mil. The real estate keeps going up, point blank.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of downturns and stuff like that. And the 2008 debacle, that I've seen that coming years in advance, but it still went up, through that time, real estate probably went up, 30-40%. And in most areas, it dropped average of 15%. So even everybody said it was a big crash. Real estate, it took a small dip, but it's back now. And
big time roaring.
Yeah, I mean, I said we flip houses. I've done 250 of them. And the last several we turned around and we got 10, 15, 20, even $30,000 over asking price. It's just weird. And so, it's now's the time to get into real estate. But by saying that, it's also got to be careful because it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot trickier right now. There's very, very limited houses that you can find to flip. There's very, very limited. But everybody in the world is trying to get into it because of the money. So you've got all this competition. And as a seasoned investor, what we say is we can't wait for the next downfall to get rid of all these, we call them idiots out there. And we call them idiots simply because they don't know any better. They refuse to get help. They refuse to get education. They see something on HTV. Oh, flip this house. Oh, I can do that. And they go out and do it.
Yeah.
And they lose their butt.
I can watch a YouTube video on how to install plumbing and electrical, right?
right. Yeah. And be a master at it, right time, one time. But that's I've been a national speaker for years as well. Okay. And this is why I opened up Road to Higher Wealth and created it is because to tell everybody is you won't become a surgeon or you won't start cutting on yourself or your family after watching was it Grey's Anatomy or any of the Chicago Med. You don't watch it one time and all of a sudden you're a doctor. But everybody thinks they can watch TV for Flip This House or one of those, and now they're an expert in real estate. It doesn't happen that way.
Whoa! What are you trying to say there? Like I can't watch Flip This House or what's the other the one out of Texas, out of Austin?
There's 100 of them out there.
The Magnolia couple, yeah.
Like, it's people don't remember it's TV. It is for entertainment. Okay?
Entertainment, right?
And because I've watched it. I laugh at them because most of those I'll watch. It's like they're an idiot. You can't do that. They show you how to do things, and they take a sledgehammer to nice kitchen cabinets and start busting them. Well, that's not how you take cabinets down. Cabinets are held up by 2 or 3 screws per cabinet. You go in there, you unscrew the cabinet, the whole cabinet comes down. 5 minutes, they're done. But here they are wailing a sledgehammer and stuff like that. But it's entertainment. People need to learn that. I can go on for hours about this, but
I know, right? Yeah, let's not get too sidetracked on that part of it because I totally agree. they're fascinating to watch because it's fun to see the before and the after. Right. But 100% when you see them, that big old sledgehammer taking down drywall with a sledgehammer, like, are you kidding me here?
Right. Exactly.
But so Road to Higher Wealth, and you have something that you call the $1 Million Challenge within that as part of this process, correct? Can you talk to me about that and what the purpose of that is? What's the process?
Right. So what it did is in the Road to Higher Wealth, so I've been a national speaker. I do a real estate club here in St. Louis. And what I found out is people want to try things, but they're scared to do it on their own most of the time. Back when I was, like I said, a speaker, I've talked to rooms of hundreds of people, thousands of people. And a majority of the people I've talked to in there, they've been, we call them professional students. They've been in there, they've been to every class that's ever been, but they've never done a deal. I know people that have spent $150,000, $200,000 on education and have never flipped a house. Well, I'm sorry, but if you get that kind of money to spend, get some education, but get a house done. Learn, okay? But anyway, so what I did there is, it's because I know that I opened up on Road to Higher Wealth, in our meetings. I said, I'm going to start a $1 million challenge. And it's a takeoff of our famous friend Grant Cardone and the 10X. Okay, he did the billionaire, Undercover Billionaire. Okay, right. And that's what. And I watched it last fall, and that's where I got the idea. He did the Undercover Billionaire. If nobody's ever seen it, get on to Discovery Plus, I think it is.
Discovery Plus, I believe.
And watch that. So. What it does, it takes a person from $0 and and within 90 days, 3 months, they have to have a net worth value of a business of $1 million. Okay. Right. And what they're doing, they're showing that anybody can do it because he started with less than $100 and he ended up with a $5.5 million business in 90 days. Okay. Now that's pretty quick for most people. So what I'm doing is I made it more realistic for most people. I'm doing $1 million challenge where I take people from $0 or more. So if you have some money, that's great. You can use what you got because it's not, you have to start from zero. What I do is I teach anybody, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, a little bit or a lot, I can show you ways to make at least $1 million in the next 12 months. 12 months is very doable for most people. We can do it a lot shorter, but I'm doing the general public. I'm showing everybody that it's possible. So we created this $1 million challenge to bring in anybody who wanted to come in, real estate investors, anybody that's out there, okay, that wanted to do this, they can come in, throw a couple dollars in the hat for the fee. And then what they do is they get me basically for the next 12 months. And we walk through step by step how to make $1 million or more in 12 months. And what I'm doing is I did the same thing that they're doing. I say, I just can't, I'm a leader, but you lead by showing an example of yourself, doing it yourself, right? That's what leadership really is. So what I did is I did the same thing. I said, you know what? I've got my own portfolio over here. I'm not touching that. I'm starting like Grant did on Undercover Billionaire. I'm starting with $0. And I started this in January. I started with $0. And I'm working with people, showing people how to create a business starting from scratch with $0. And it's not that hard if you have the right, teacher or the education. It's in the right programs. It's not that hard if you do a step-by-step program. I've learned that over the years. I've done a lot of things. When I first started flipping houses, I didn't know how to do it. I mean, I was in construction, but I didn't know all the ins and outs of doing actual real estate. I took some courses. I spent about 10 grand on courses to learn how to do it. And I just followed the courses. And that's what I teach people in our $1 Million Challenge is you don't have to know it all. Just follow your leader step by step. So right now we've got several people, probably 8 or 9 people in the challenge. They're all doing very well. And what I showed people to do is we can do it in different facets, but like I said earlier, real estate is the #1 business for millionaires in the world. Okay. That's the fastest way to make $1 million is through real estate, point blank. So what I did is I said, we're going to start in real estate And I walk them through, if you have $0, $1,000, $10,000, whatever you had, and I'm created everybody's specific plan to get going. Everybody's do it. Everybody's got it. And the easiest way right now is what we call short-term rentals. People really know that as Airbnb. Okay. Airbnb is a brand. Okay. You're not Airbnb in houses. What you're doing short-term rentals. Okay. Anything less than 30 days is short-term rentals. So we start there because that is the fastest, easiest way to do it. And you don't buy the properties, you lease the property. Okay. So what's it take to lease a property? You got first month's rent, and you got a security deposit. Now you lease that property, and I show everybody to do it for 3 to 5 years. So you have a long-term lease in place, okay? Then now you own the property or you control the property instead of buying a property for 20% down, and next thing you know, you're into 40 or 50 grand for one property. Technically, first month's rent and security deposit, 2 to 3 grand in most places, you can control a property. The same property that you say you bought for 40, 50 grand to get one, I can lease that same property for $2,000 or $3,000.
Right.
And then we still make
fraction of the price. We're
still making the money on the back end. The money's still the same. Okay. So that's how I teach you to do it. Then step 2 is you turn around and we show you how to go out and create it and stage it, put nice furniture in it. There's 3 or 4 different ways to do that. You can do it with very little money. You can do it with a lot of money. I show you how different ways to do that. Anyway, and then you create a rental, a short-term rental. Rentals are huge. This year alone, Airbnb, you can't watch TV today without Airbnb ad on it. They're everywhere, which is driving the market up. And it's driving, everybody's now learning about it. So now all of a sudden there's this a big influx of people wanting to rent Airbnbs through Airbnb, okay? But Airbnb still has a shortage of properties because like guys like us, because I put it on their platform, but there's still a very limited number of investors that are doing this, okay? So the money's good. In fact, money's very good. On a typical rental, if you rented it old style, long-term, the national average is $200 to $300 net profit per month if you do a long-term rental. And that's what everybody's used to doing. You buy it, spend 40, 50 grand to get a house, down payment, blah, 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 fix it up. And you're making $200 or $300 a month net profit.
Right.
That's the old way.
$3 grand a year. What to do?
Right.
Minus tax. Yeah.
I make 2 to 3 grand a month net profit on short-term rentals on somebody else's house. Right. Okay. So you see the numbers work. Anyway, so I've got, guys now that I've got one guy that Scott and Al, they've got 4 properties. Debbie's got 7. My son, Josh, he jumped in it as well. He's got 8 properties that actually come up. He's got it. They aren't available till next end of the month, May 1st. So he's already got 8 lined up for that. And those are basically the brand new units. They're downtown St. Louis, and they're right across the street from the ballpark. Okay. I mean, the baseball stadium, I mean, I can stand on a roof and throw a baseball and it lands inside the stadium. That's how close we are. Okay.
Right. Wow.
So yeah. And, he got these for a song. They were developing it. He met the developer, actually one of the girls that was running the leasing department. And he got first bids or first option to go in and take as many units as he wanted. So he went in, I think he's taking 8 right now with an option to take, 4 to 6 more.
That's awesome.
And on a high end properties like that, you're looking at, instead of $3 grand a month net, we're looking probably between 5,000 and 7,000, maybe more a net a month on those properties.
Yeah.
That's
location.
But this is how we teach people. And that's what I said, going back to Road to Higher Wealth, that's what it's all about. Teaching people how to make money with the passion that they love. Even if you aren't passionate about real estate, it's a place to get started. It's a tool, right? I tell everybody, it's a driving tool to get you where you want to go. So if you can make, 10, 15 grand a month net profit with a couple hours a week in real estate, then you learn to do that as one, and then you go do what you love over here. Okay. And that's what the really core is all about, is to make real estate a tool that you can use to create the money you want, so you can go do your passion over here, whatever it is. And it works. Like I said, everybody that's in the passion and they're doing good. Of course, as a leader, I'm doing very well. Since January, I have gotten, I think I'm up to 16 units right now since January, not including my old units that I've had prior to that.
Because you're showing the way on this program, like you said, you started yourself. Yeah.
Right. And that's why people can say, well, how come you're not doing it? Or I can't do that. So it's like, just follow me. I will do it and I will walk you through it. And it works. And it's a lot of fun. We're making decent money and we're still in a slow time. Actually the premium time and when prices go up is May 15th through October 30th.
Right.
Okay, that's summer months, man. And we get almost double what we get in the wintertime. In the wintertime, we do good. Okay, in summertime, it's incredible. So, and everybody says, well, how many minutes do you? And that's what $1 million challenge. Okay, $1 million net is only 40 units. Okay, on an average of $2,000 per unit. Okay, on the average,
right?
It's only 40 units. And I'm going to hit 40 units in the next 12 months. Okay, easy. And I'm just showing everybody. I'm not saying everybody else has to, or they should. Be comfortable where you're at. 40 units is about $80,000 a month net profit a month. Okay, on average, 80 times 12 is $960,000. That's $1 million. Right. Now that's net. Okay, but as the way that the Grant Cardone and it did on his, it's not what you net, it's what you're valued at. Okay.
Right.
So technically the value of the business, $1 million, if I'm netting $1 million net, okay. And we looked at the valuations styles to do it. And that'll bring me into about a $9 or $10 million business in 12 months. Okay.
And I think this is an important distinction I want to highlight of what you're saying, because you keep saying it net, and I want to make sure people understand you're not saying that you're building them $1 million portfolio, right? This isn't a valuation where you're only netting, maybe it's $10,000 a year off of that $1 million after taxes and fees and all that kind of stuff. You're talking in your bank account deposited after you've set aside for taxes and you've set aside for your maintenance and your cleaning fees and all those things.
Right. That's
where you're doing the $1 million challenges based off of that.
Based off of that, right? And that's what we're awesome. And that way people can understand, because I do know millionaires that make $10, $15 million a year that are dead ass broke. That they don't have. I mean, they complain about not having money all the time and stuff like that. But yet I know a guy right now that makes $150,000 a year, and he's happy he can be. He's got a nice bass boat. He goes fishing every weekend. He's happy. Because it's net difference. And so it's not about what you gross, it's about what you get to keep, and that's why I did it the direction I did it. And I tell everybody says, well, I can't do 40 houses. I said, you know what? You don't have to. I'm just showing you a road that's possible. What I'm telling you to do is do whatever you're happy with, what you're comfortable with. Will $10,000 a month change your life? For most people, oh yes. Net $10,000 net part-time, 4 or 5 hours a week, they'll change everybody's life, right? That's $120,000 a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's net profit. That's on top of what you're doing because it's part-time. You don't have to, you can do it full-time, but you don't have to. So that's what I'm driving at. Like Grant says, shoot for the moon. And if you fall way short, you're still better off than what you used to be. So that's what I'm telling everybody. Okay. Say we're shooting for $1 million. If you do 50%, you fall on your face and you only do half of that. That's still a half.
Only $500,000.
Only $500,000, which you didn't have last year. Right.
Right. Or probably your entire life leading up to that.
Exactly. For most people, you're right. Yeah. And you fall short 80%. I mean, 80% you fall short. That's still $200,000 a year that you're going to net, which is still will change a majority of people's lives.
I would argue pretty much everyone's. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. You put an extra $200,000 net profit, extra cash in your pocket, it's going to change your life. And that's what we're going for.
Yeah. Well, I love that. I love that you've created this program, that you've taken your experiences and your knowledge and your kind of really your drive and your personality. And you've created this program to help people that, like you said, those idiots that get inspired by watching Flip This House or Flip or Flop, because everyone has to start somewhere. They're like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. That's cool. The young basketball players sees, LeBron James, or, a young golfer sees Tiger Woods. They see what's possible. And they're like, they start on that journey of, okay, I could get there. And you've come in at that critical step, but that gap between desire and motivation and actual knowledge, and not landing yourself in jail or, going completely bankrupt kind of thing.
Exactly.
And I love that you're bridging that gap and giving people an opportunity to become financially free, right? Which is should be pretty much the goal for everybody, to not be tied to a job or chained to a desk. So I love that. Thank you for sharing about that. And I want to ask, because I ask all my podcast guests, again, leadership podcast. So I want to, find out your opinion, and you may not see a difference, or there may not be a difference to you. Totally, absolutely, just based on your experience. Is there, and if there is, what is, in your opinion, the difference between somebody who's in a management position or a manager versus a leader in the business type of a sense?
Well, and we've been talking about this the whole time. And if in the podcast, we talk about me being a leader. To me, a leader is someone that does it with you. They just don't say, go do that. They show you, they lead by example. I guess you should say the words lead by example. Hey, come on, I'll do it with you. Let's do this together. Let's make this work together. Okay. A leader is one that is there right beside you, right in front of you. He helps you go through it. A manager is just manages. He sits back and says, all right, your job is go do that. Your job is go do that. And he sits back and he just tells people what to do. That to me is a manager. And I know a lot of managers, and that's really what they do. And they say, well, that's not my job. That's why we hired that person. That's why we hired that person. A leader's right in the trenches with you. That's I love it. The difference that I say. And that's how I do my whole business, my whole life. Yeah.
Yep. And I wholeheartedly agree. So thank you for validating my own opinion of what the difference is between those two. So perfect. So Jack, how do people get a hold of you? Say, they've listened to this podcast. They're like, man, I could do that. I want to find out more. Like, how do they, one, get a hold of you and your company, Road to Higher Wealth? And secondly, I think more importantly, how do they get into the $1 Million Challenge if they want to? Are you even accepting people right now?
Yes, we are. I mean, because, there's no cutoff date. Because people are in different stages of their life. Just because it's not ready for them today doesn't mean that they're not ready for it tomorrow or next week. I'm here to help everybody. It's not about making sure everybody hits $1 million. It's my goal my mission is to help all those that want to be helped. No matter where you are in life, whenever you want to get started. So yeah, if we get into August, September, and I get somebody who wants to join in, you know what? I'll get them started. It's we've got and I would imagine I'll do something else after this first one's over. If it's going very well, I'll do it something again. But yeah, no, they can go into it anytime they want. You can get a hold of me by a couple different ways. First of all, you can go onto the website. You can go to it's 10x RE, that's for real estate, .club. Okay, 10xrealestate.club, 10xre.club. And then you'll get to a landing page. You fill out some information, and then you watch the video there. You can go to the next video and watch it. And you're going to get a free ebook on basically how to get started with short-term rentals. And then what we'll do is we'll contact you off of that, or you can turn around on there. It'll also give my contact information. You can contact me direct. I got an email on there. I've got a phone number on there. That's one way. Another way is you can actually contact me direct. My number is 618-304-5250. Once again, that's 618-304-5250. And that's my personal cell phone number. I don't hide behind anything. You get my personal cell phone number. Just don't spam the heck out of me, please. But you can text me, however it is, and say, hey, I want to start this $1 Million Challenge, and we'll connect. We'll get you going there. Or you can also email me at Jack, Jack, at R2HW.com. That stands for Road to Higher Wealth, R2HW.com. Those are
Awesome.
3 ways to get a hold of me. And I would love for everybody out there to join the challenge. So I'm here to change everybody's life one day at a time.
Yeah. That's awesome. And everybody that's listening, those links and phone number and email will all be in the description of this podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description below as well. So you can go direct to Jack's page and get started with him. It sounds like a phenomenal opportunity. So Jack, again, thank you so much for being with me. Any last departing words, anything, maybe projects you're working on, or anything you want to share with the audience in general?
Yeah. Basically, if you have a dream, follow it. And if you don't know how, find somebody that's already been there, ask them how to get there. Or reach out to me or you, Kale, and we will help you get to where you need to go. We'll put you in the right direction. We don't know everything, but we do know people that do. So that's why I always tell myself, I don't know everything. I've been, I'm 61 years old. I still don't know everything. I still learn. But I can put people in contact with people that know what to do in that instant.
Awesome.
And that's just the way it works. And I'm just excited to help everybody that's joined the challenge and everybody I've met over the years and see the progress they've made just by taking that first step. Just take that first step. Find somebody that can help you get there and follow your dream. There's too many people in the world that don't. I think numbers are, I think they say 65% of the American population work in a job they hate, but they go to work every day because it's a paycheck. And life's too short.
Yeah.
Follow your dream.
100%.
Find somebody that can help you follow your dream and go that direction.
Yeah. Jack, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time and being willing to share with my audience what you do and offering them this opportunity to join you. So thank you again.
Yeah, and let's connect in maybe a couple, 3, 4, 6 months from now and see where the $1 Million Challenge is going. I'd love to give you guys an update, and maybe we can show some pictures or something next time, or whatever, some stats, and we'll go from there. Yeah,
that would be phenomenal. Sweet. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. As always, no matter where you're at in the world, have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.